Good morning, members of the parliament. Good to be with you and happy rainy Thursday.
Director, unfortunately, we cannot say happy rainy Thursday because we are thinking of how we are going to find our way back home with the horrible state of our road. So unfortunately, we are not sharing that sentiment this morning.
Seriously.
But let's talk about the demolition of...
I feel for you.
Thank you. I do hope the Akwa Ibom State government also feels for us and comes to our rescue as soon as possible. But let's go to the conversation around the fact that, residents have criticized the Akwa Ibom State government. And of course, this is coming shortly after you issued, Center for Human Rights and Accountability Network issued a press release about the demolition of houses within the Uyo metropolis at this material time when we're talking about harsh economic realities. We're talking about the fact that the price of cement is not cementing anybody in this nation right now. What is your comment to the move by the Uyo Capital Development and the demolition of houses at this point in time?
Yeah, just like the press statement you referred to, which we issued on Tuesday, the 5th of March, 2024, is heartless. The demolition is heartless, is a reckless decision of a government that is not people-oriented, that does not wear the shoes and the pains of the people of the state. Don't forget that shelter is one of the cardinal functions of a government. You prefer security and welfare, and then the next thing that follows is shelter. And here we are in an emergency situation where the economy is biting harder on everyone. Right now, every government is thinking and contemplating on the best way to put food on the table of everyone in the state. But here is a government agency going about demolishing properties of people, calling them shanties. The question is, these shanties, are they just surfacing in the state now? They are not. The shanties, as you may put it, have been there before this government came on board in May 29, 2023. So I would have thought that a government that is people-oriented, that wears the shoes and the pains of the people of the state, will be thinking of how to mitigate the hardship of the people of the state, rather than coming to throw the people out of their businesses. If you go to those areas today, if you enter through Udodoma, and then you enter Asokoma from Udodoma, that's a traffic light point. That stretch used to have some kiosks, and these kiosks are across the gutter of the major way. So these people are feeding from there. These people are making their businesses from there. They pay their fees, they pay their rent, their children are in schools, they are being sustained by those businesses that have been done there. The government are supposed to look for a way to provide shelter and accommodation to people of the state, and to these people is the one that is going about demolishing those shops. But the funniest thing, or the irony of it, is that when these politicians want to go for elections, they will stop by those shops, stop by those shanties, stop by those roadside and buy corn from those roadside sellers and buy mango. And they will tell the story how they grow from a very humble background, how their parents did not buy them shoes, how they were hawkers on the street. But when they step into government, they will go and demolish those shops and call them shanties and call them kiosks. How do you now marry these two situations? So I think that the government should discontinue the exercise. And I said in the sister program, that the timing is very bad. The timing is what we are shouting out, that it is very wrong as at now, that, like you have just mentioned, the price of cement has gone high, price of sand, price of building materials have gone high, food commodities prices have gone high, and the government should be more concerned about how to mitigate the hardship than imposing more hardship on the people of the state.
Okay, now, Director, let's come down to an issue you've raised. Now, we know that as far as town planning is concerned, it is absolutely impossible for anybody to erect a structure in Uyo or any part of Akwa Ibom State without the Uyo City or whatever town development institution that we have. We've seen people's houses being marked and all of that, but in the midst of all of this, we still see structures being put up. There have been allegations that these so-called shanties by the state government probably might not have been given approval by the relevant authorities, probably must have gotten approval through the back door. Now, the question I'm putting forward to you is, how do we balance the situation where there is allegation that, these houses should not have found their place to where they are, and so it is illegal for these structures to be here? And then the fact that people sat in government offices and reportedly gave those approvals for these houses to be built.
If you want to talk about illegal structures, let's start from the structures being built at the Unity Park. Those things being erected at the Unity Park were a mark for demolition by the UCCDA. Have they been demolished? That is the question. The government, under the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, went and defaced the Unity Park, that we can call the green area, and erected an altar that was used for the Carol Festival during the December activities. And we raised the alarm. And the only green area we have in the state to protect our ecosystem, to protect the ecology, the ecology, to protect the environment, to fight against climate change, is that green area by Rodoma, which is known as the Unity Park. But the government went and demolished those, pulled down those trees. Even when UCCDA went and marked those buildings that were being built for demolition, when we went there, we told the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, said this building has been marked for demolition by UCCDA. But the government still went ahead against the order by the UCCDA to still put those structures which were used for their Carol Festival. But
UCCDA and government are both working hand in hand. So how do we balance? Because it's like government issuing a directive and government going against the directive.
That is the question we are talking about. Uyo has a master plan. That area has been designed to be a green area from the Obongota's government. Obongota government designed the master plan of Uyo, and allocated that area to be the green area. The other government have come and gone, but this government came and went and demolished those trees, put down those trees. UCCDA did the right thing and went and marked the structure going on there as illegal structure. But the government went ahead and still put those structures, and they are still standing there as we speak. So who is fooling who? So if you want to demolish illegal structure, why don't you demolish the one that is being built at the Unity Park, which is illegal structure, which has defaced the green area that was kept by the Obongota's government for the state capital?
Okay.
So the government looking for excuse.
Just before we let you go this morning, now we've seen the issue that is happening. The government obviously has done what has been done, and the people on the other hand are crying. What avenue do the people have to seek redress, to seek justice at this moment that we are in?
There is no avenue than for the government to pay compensate those people who have lost their goods, their properties. If the government is people-conscious government, if the government wears the pains and the shoes of the downtrodden, of the poor masses, the governor of the state should direct that those people who are affected should be compensated at this moment that we are looking for food to eat. That is what I think the government should do. Nobody should even go to court. But the government should wear the conscience of the masses and do what is right. At this moment, we are facing emergency. We are like a war. We are like on a war situation where people are, looking for what to eat. Crime rate has increased, and people who have lost their jobs by virtue of this, demolition that are taking place. Where will they be? They will go back to it. I said it somewhere. I said I challenge the government to tell me the number of jobs they have created since coming on board in May 29 till today. And I will tell you, number of persons who have lost their jobs since the government came on board. We have had Jubilee Syringe Factory left the state. Persons have lost their jobs. Since then, have you seen company coming to the state to employ people? Where is the employment? Instead of trying to patronize the private sector and boost the economy, you are demolishing, people's shops and calling it shanties. I mean, it's not fair. The government is being hardened on the people, and such actions should put a halt to. And then the government should find a way to compensate those who have lost their shops and lost their earnings, the means of earnings.
All right, thank you so much, Director, for taking out the time to speak to us this morning. We do hope the government of Akwa Ibom State is listening. We'll also try to reach out to the ministry and the relevant government agency to get to hear them with exactly what they have to say. But thanks for taking out the time to speak to us this morning.
My pleasure always.
All right, have a great day. House leaders, let's get into the comment section. There are a couple of concerns here raised about the transporters. We'll get to take that and then wrap up our conversation this morning.